Halloween event part 2 is starting around the world in Pokemon Go, and as always, I want you guys up to speed for this event. Let's hop right into it. So this event is going to be October 28th, 10 a.m. to November 3rd, 8 p.m. your local time. So going a bit into November. First of all, we're gonna have 2 new debuts during the event. That's going to be the Froakie wearing the Halloween costume and the Rowlet wearing the Halloween costume, which both can evolve all the way up into their final forms, and both can be shiny. So new costumes during the event. That's usually what Halloween part 2 is. It's all about the costumes. Nonetheless, we'll also have the debut of Gigantamax Gengar arriving in Max Battles from October 31st, 10 a.m. to November 3rd, 8 p.m. Yes, it can be shiny. Yes, it's still going to take 10 people minimum to go ahead and take it down, but cool, more Gigantamax Pokemon coming. In terms of event bonuses, we're going to have 2 times catch candy, higher shiny odds on shiny Zara, and increased chance to get XL candy when catching Pokemon on nice throws or better. We'll also see shiny boost on specific raid and specific egg hatchable Pokemon. Specifically, from raids, Gengar with the Spooky Festival outfit, Umbreon, Drifloon with the Halloween Mischief costume, Froakie and Rowlet with the Halloween costumes will all have shiny boosts when encountered from raids. Don't know what the exact numbers are. My guess is probably 1 in 64 for all of them. On top of that, we'll have an increased shiny odds on shiny Vulpix wearing a Spooky Festival costume, Pichu wearing a witch hat, Froakie and Rowlet wearing the Halloween costumes from the egg hatches. So shiny boosts on eggs, again, probably 1 in 64 for all of these. Finally, we'll have the bonus of when you catch Pokemon on nice throws or better, you have a small chance you get rare candy or rare XL candy. Now, I'm just gonna give you spoilers right now. This bonus is kind of complete bogus. I played this event last year. I caught over 3,000 Pokemon and we got 9 rare XL candies for all of that. So most likely you're not going to be getting that much rare XL candies and rare candies for catching Pokemon on these throws, but who knows, maybe they boosted this year, maybe it'll be better. We'll stay tuned. While it's sponsoring event, we're gonna have Vulpix with the costume, Shuppet, Piplup with the costume, Woobat, Zara, Froakie with the costume, Inkay, Phantom, Pumpkaboo wearing its costume, and Rowlet wearing its costume, as well as rare spawns for Pikachu wearing the witch hat. So yes, witch hat Pikachu is back. I believe this was the original costume for Pikachu from the original Halloween event, or maybe the second year. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have exclusive 7-clawed eggs during the event, hatching Vulpix with the costume, Pichu wearing a costume, Froakie wearing a costume, and Rowlet wearing a costume. 1-star raids are going to be Pikachu with the costume, Froakie with the costume, Rowlet with the costume. 3-star raids will be Gengar wearing its costume, Umbreon and Drifblim wearing its costume. 5-star raids are going to be Darkrai, and Mega raids will be Mega Banette. We'll also, of course, have exclusive stickers in the shop. We will still continue to have the Lavender Town music and the exclusive looking map, as well as Pokestop showcases during the event. Now, of course, we have exclusive research during the event. First of all, we're going to have the task catch 10 Pokemon for a Witch Hatch Pikachu, Costume Vulpix, and the Costume Piplup. We also have the task catch 15 Ghost or Dark type Pokemon for 25 Mega Gengar, Houndoom, Sableye, Banette, or Absol Energy. Evolve 3 Pokemon will get you the Halloween Rowlet or the Halloween Froakie costume encounter. And then, of course, win 2 raids will get you the Morpeko encounter, and win 3 raids will still get you the Spiritomb encounter. With the event details away, though, let's get right into the tips, starting with, as always, what are the best spawns? Which one should we be focusing on in this big cluster of costume Pokemon, which luckily most of them can evolve? Starting off with Vulpix with the costume, which evolves into Ninetales. Ninetales is pretty good in the Ultra League this season, especially with the Fire Spin buff. We have Shuppet in there, which evolves into Banette. Banette, of course, does have a Mega form if you want to get a good IV for that. Piplup in there, which evolves into Empoleon. Empoleon does see some play in the Ultra League this season with the Metal Claw buff. We have Froakie in there, which evolves all the way up into the Greninja with this cool little costume. Greninja is pretty good in the Halloween Cup and is also a pretty good water type attacker. You do need Legacy Hydro Cannon on that though, so you might want to hold on to it until December Community Day when you can evolve it to get that move. We have Inkay in there, which if you turn your phone around and evolve it, you can evolve it into Malamar, which is a pretty good Great League and Ultra League Pokemon this season. We have Phantom in there, which evolves into Trevenant. Trevenant is a good Pokemon for the Great League and the Ultra League, although has fallen off a little bit. We have Rowlet in there, which evolves into Decidueye. Decidueye is not bad for the Ultra League, as well as a decent grass type raid attacker. And that's about it. When we have a lot of costume Pokemon like this, we're not going to get that many meta relevant spawns, but there's a lot of cool shinies to hunt during the event. Nonetheless, let's talk about the raids. What are going to be the best raids to go after? Well, in the 1-star raids, of course, we have the Froakie and the Rowlet. We already talked about those Pokemon being good. But in the 3-star raids, we have Gengar, which Gengar, of course, does have a Mega form in Pokemon Go right now. So you can go ahead and get one because you can Mega Evolve the ones with the costume, although it does lose its costume when it's Mega Evolved, but it'll come back when it's unmega evolved. We have Umbreon in there, which Umbreon is still a good Great League and an Ultra League Pokemon, so you can hunt those in the 3-star raids, and it does have shiny boost. And finally, Drifblim in there, which is a good Pokemon for the Great League and the Ultra League and limited Great League Cups this season, like the Halloween Cup, and it does have a cool little costume as well to accompany it. In the 5-star raids, we do have Darkrai, which is a good Dark type raid attacker in Pokemon Go, so definitely a Pokemon worth raiding, and Mega Banette, which although is not the best Ghost type raid attacker, is still a very good Ghost type raid attacker. So if you don't have a Mega Gengar, you can go ahead and settle for Mega Banette for now, as it's still pretty good. Now, of course, we do have the new Gigantamax Pokemon, the 4th of our Gigantamax Gengar arriving in Pokemon Go. You will not be able to use Gigantamax Gengar in PvP or in raids, but if you're into it and you are enjoying the Gigantamax feature, let's talk about how to take down Gigantamax Gengar, because again, you need a minimum of 10 people to take Gigantamax Pokemon on, and they're pretty tough as well, so you want to make sure you're using the correct Pokemon to do the most damage. Now, Gigantamax Gengar is going to be, of course, a poison and ghost type, just like regular Gengar, so it's going to be weak to Dark, Ghost, Ground, and Psychic. The number one counter is going to be actually Gigantamax Blastoise. Those Gigantamax Pokemon are very, very strong, and you need to make sure you give your Blastoise Bite so it can do super effective damage, especially with its max move. Next up will be Metagross, of course, which is a full Psychic moveset. Metagross is one of the best Dynamax Pokemon you can use. We also have Rillaboom, which can have Earth Power as a charge move. Not a bad option there. Next up, we have Greedent, which can learn Bite, which means it can have a max move, which is a Dark type, doing really, really big damage to Gigantamax Gengar. And Shadow Ball on Inteleon, which again will do good damage, but you won't be doing a lot. So the best option is probably going to be the Gigantamax, Blastoise, Metagross, or the Greedent. At the end of the day, though, I will say if you have like a Gigantamax Charizard, it's better to use that if you've powered it up, especially if you've powered up its max moves to level 2 or to level 3, because this will allow you to do a lot more damage, as powering up your Pokemon and using powered up Pokemon is much more important than doing super effective damage, although you ideally want to be able to do both. Good luck taking on Gigantamax Gengar. Again, it is not usable in anything else, which does suck, but it's a fun little mini game if it's something you're interested in. Now, I quickly want to circle back. I did do a video last year when we had the bonus of rare XL candies and rare candies from catching Pokemon on Ice. Those are better. And remember, I caught over like 2,000 to 3,000 Pokemon. I only got 9 rare XL candies. So I just want to set everybody's expectations. Don't expect to be getting a lot of rare XL candies, although I would love for us to be able to get a bunch of rare XL candies this year from catching Pokemon on Ice. Those are better, but set your expectations correctly. I will probably attempt this year to see how many Pokemon I can catch and what the rates are and all that stuff, so stay tuned for potentially a video on that, but set your expectations correctly. However, what you can grind is going to be candy for a lot of these wild spawns, which do have meta relevance. So let's go through my best candy tips in Pokemon Go for this event. First thing, Pineapple Berries. Regular Pineapple Berries multiply catch candy by 2 and Silvers by 2.34. And specifically, we have the bonus of 2 times catch candy and 3 times catch candy if you bought that timed research, which will increase your candy gains by a lot. Especially because if you have 3 times catch candy and then you're using a Pineapple Berry and doubling that, you're getting so much more value out of your Pineapples. This is an event when you want to be using Pineapple Berries. Also, if you catch Pokemon on good, great, or excellent throws, you're going to have a higher chance of getting rare XL candy. So really focus during this event on trying to hit those throws, because you're going to get a lot of value out of it. And also, you'll potentially be able to get one of those rare XL candies as we just talked about. You can also use Palkia's Spatial Rend ability. Palkia's Spatial Rend ability costs Palkia candies and Stardust, but it will double the spawn radius in which you can see, so you can see more spawns. Allowing to see more spawns allows you to catch more Pokemon efficiently and quickly, which will of course turn into more candy. So if you really want to grind candies, I always recommend using Palkia's Spatial Rend ability. I always use that during spotlight hours when I want to grind a lot of candy. You can also Mega Evolve a Pokemon. If you don't know when you Mega Evolve a Pokemon, any Pokemon you catch that shares a type with the Mega, you get more candy, XP, and XL candy for catching Pokemon of that type. What Pokemon should we Mega Evolve during this event? Well, the answer is the same as part 1. Mega Sableye is a Dark and Ghost type Mega Pokemon, which will be obviously hitting almost every single spawn. I believe every single spawn during this event. So this is easily the best Mega to go with. If you don't have a Mega Sableye, go with any other Dark or Ghost type Mega you can get. But Mega Sableye is by all means the best Mega to have active during this event. You can also trade away Pokemon. If you don't know, is the season of Max Out, which means every time you trade away a Pokemon, you'll get 2 regular candies and a guaranteed XL candy. So for example, if you go ahead and trade away 100 Phantoms during this event, you'll get 100 Phantom XL candy. So all the Pokemon you catch, see if you can find a friend and then just trade them. It doesn't even matter what you get in return. Just trade them away to them to grind XL candies. Finally, you can transfer Pokemon. Unfortunately, this event or any of the Halloween events didn't come with a 2 times transfer candy bonus. I really thought it was. Didn't end up being the case, but most likely in November, or potentially already know, depending on when you're watching this video, we'll have a 2 times transfer candy bonus event spotlight hour. So hold on to your Pokemon until then and transfer them then for 2 times candy. Specifically, just hold on to the Pokemon that obviously you have space for, but the ones that are valuable to get the candies for. Finally, let's talk about Platinum Mel tips. You need 35 Platinum Mel score from level 48 to 49 in Pokemon Go. Which one should we work on during this event? Starting off, of course, with the type metals. If there's any of these, specifically probably the Hex Maniac, the Delinquent, and maybe the Poison type one. Catch those types of Pokemon to complete these metals. These metals actually make it easier to catch that type, as you can see at the bonus at the bottom. So I have this Platinum, so I'm going to have an easier time catching Poison type Pokemon. You also have the Scientist Medal. Evolve 2,000 Pokemon, specifically Phantom and Pumpkaboo are 2 Pokemon that if you actually receive one from a trade, it's completely completely free to evolve it. So I recommend you and your friend, when you're maybe trading for XL candies or whatever, you guys can also mirror trade a bunch of Punkaboos and Phantoms, and that will allow you to get a bunch of extra points towards the Evolve medal, Evolve 2000 Pokemon, for virtually 0 candies, because again, they're completely free when received from a trade. It's also a great way to go ahead and grind XP. So if you want some XP, you can throw in a Lucky Egg, get a bunch of Punkaboos in your storage, and then just mass evolve them. You can even hold them on until a 2x Evolve XP Spotlight Hour in November if you'd rather do that. We do have the Pilot Medal, earn 10 million kilometers across the distance of all Pokemon traits. Obviously, those exclusive 7-kilometer eggs during that. If you decide to go after them, I will say right now, they're not really the best unless you really want some rare, shiny costume Pokemon. Those Pokemon that are received from eggs are actually from where your friend sent the egg. So if you have friends all around the world, those Pokemon are actually from all around the world. So what you can do is you can trade them with locally caught Pokemon and get a lot of kilometers towards your Pilot Medal, because it's going to calculate the distance between where those 2 Pokemon that are being traded were caught. So one caught in Paris, one caught in New York. That's a big distance there, and you're getting a lot of points towards this medal, because again, those eggs, those Pokemon that you're receiving are from where your friend actually got them. We also have exclusive raids during events, so the Rising Star medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. Great medal to work on. Take a look at the raid roster. If there's any of those Pokemon you've never raided before, do 1 raid for them. Even if they're bad, it'll get you a point towards this medal. And finally, as always, the Showcase Star medal, win a 100 Pokestop Showcase. So we have exclusive showcases during the event. Try your best to win them. Always drop into the rural showcases. There's gonna be less competition, easier chance to go ahead and win. And you can go ahead and work towards that PhD Pikachu, which is going to be this final Pokemon. I am nowhere near it. I gotta get on this. If you guys enjoyed this video, you will enjoy the one below. Good Luck During Halloween Part 2, probably an event I'll most likely be skipping, except for Gigantamax Gengar, because I'm not really into costume Pokemon. But if you are, this is an event for you. We'll catch you all next one. Follow for tips. Peace.